Good morning.
Good morning.
Casey's at a pastor's retreat, so I'm filling in for him today. I'm John McElderry. I'm a trustee and an elder here at Southside. To start off with, today's a very special day for me because even though my dad died at 78, he was a World War II vet. He fought in Okinawa, Iwo Jima, and other places over there. And today, he'd have been 100 years old.
Wow.
So, very special. So, why me, Lord? We all know that bad things happen to good people. Just last night, I was just watching a movie called The Secret, Dare to Dream. And one of the actors there said, even bad stuff can lead to better things. So, have you ever asked God, why me, Lord? Because, you were built to break apart. The world says that we believe in a God that doesn't heal his people. Just look at your church members. They have heart diseases, some have strokes, hypertension, arthritis, muscle strains and sprains, COPD, pneumonia, stroke, flu, leukemia, all kinds of stuff can wipe us out. But if we was all healed, Jesus would, if we were all healed, people would say that they believe in Jesus just to be healed. Jesus wants a relationship with you, not just to be a doctor. In Isaiah 56, 8 and 9, it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." So, I'm going to give a testimony of what happened to me earlier in my life. I was cruising Broadway, and back then, cruising Broadway, you get in your car, whatever you had, you go down Broadway, and you turn around at the end, you go back and forth and back and forth. And they did it because that's how you met new people from other schools. Yep. So that's what I did, and the sad part about that is, after a while, you start hanging out with the wrong group because you start staying out later and later and later, and before you know it, it's 1, 2 a.m. in the morning. But the Lord always has a way of straightening things out. So I was driving a motorcycle with no helmet, and I had a buddy that had a motorcycle, no helmet. And we got done, I think it was around midnight, and we was going up Madison Ave, and pretty soon he took off real fast. Well, that's usually a sign that there's a cop that pulled out behind you. So I go and I see how fast I'm going. I see the speed limit sign. I look down at my mirror to see if there's a cop back there. And then when I looked forward, he was sideways stopped in front of me. So I slammed on my brakes, and I heard screeching of the tires, and I heard metal hitting, twisting, scraping, and then everything went black. So when I opened up my eyes, I was in a totally different spot. Everything around me was light. But in one area, the light was brighter. And I started moving towards this brighter light, and I felt more warmth, more love, felt like everything was taken care of. I had no cares in the world. There's absolutely no hunger, pain. It was great. And I looked down because I was like, what am I wearing? And I looked down and I saw nothing. It seemed like I was a pair of eyeballs just floating where I wanted to go. So as I was getting more towards this light, I felt, so much fulfillment and love. There's nothing greater than that. It's like our love times a million here on earth. And pretty soon I got close enough that I heard a voice. And the voice said, "He's not supposed to be here." And then everything went dark. And when I opened up my eyes, I felt pain, terrible pain. And within a second, it started at my toes and went all the way up to my head. And I noticed I was in the hospital in a bed, had IVs in both arms. And I was like, there's no way I'm staying here. Where I was at was awesome, perfect. I'm going back. I went, ripped out both IVs, got out of bed, and my girlfriend at the time, she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I went and I picked up a chair and I started heading towards the window. Because, the plan was bust the window, jump out, and die. Because the faster I could get to dying, the happier I'd be. So as I was going, and she was resisting me, and I was trying to push her out of the way, she goes, "I just want you to do one thing for me, just one thing." And I was like, "Okay, what is it?" She goes, "I want you to pull back the curtain and look out the window before you jump." I'm like, "Deal." So she moved over to the side, I went over, I opened up the window and I looked, and about 3 feet down was green grass. Green grass. I felt defeated. I felt so low. I was like, I want to go back, but I can't. I'm stuck here now. So I just slowly went back, and by the time I went back and laid down in bed, there were 4 people ran in, and they put down straps and everything so I couldn't move. So that was, I think, the Lord's way of saying, "Hey, you're doing things wrong. Now you're going to do things right," which worked out pretty good for me. But that's what I thought. And my note says, did you ever have an earth-shattering moment that changed your thoughts that you thought was true for decades? Well, it happened to me 34 years later. It happened on September 6th, 2025, here at Southside Christian Church, 80th anniversary. I was here, and after the special music by Craig Cruz, which he did a great job singing, a person started walking down the aisle. And he came and he looked at me and he goes, "You probably don't know who I am." I looked down and I was like, No, don't know. He goes, "I'm Jerry Kazire." And I was like, "Oh, I know Jerry." So I stood up, I shook his hand, and I was like, "Well, what's going on, Jerry?" And he goes, "I want to thank you for your motorcycle accident." And I was like, "What?" And I looked at him, I could see a huge puzzle on my face. So he goes, "Back in 1990, he goes, I wanted a motorcycle." And he goes, "I was telling my wife, motorcycles are fast, they take up less space, they're cheaper on insurance, I can get to church quicker, I need a motorcycle." And when Jerry came, he saw me a couple days later in the hospital. He saw me and saw how tore up I was. I had a broken collarbone, I had stitches across my eye, I had like 12 or 18 on the back. And he said, "When I saw you," he goes, "it just changed. Something says, I don't need a motorcycle. I absolutely don't want a motorcycle." So God knew that Jerry seeing me in a hospital killed his desire to have a motorcycle. In Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6, says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." I think God changed Jerry's path from having a fatal motorcycle accident to never having one. But only God knows this. But if Jerry did went missing in his early ministry, it would have been a huge blow to Jesus' ministry, because there'd be no more teachings of Jerry here at Southside. There'd be no mission trip to Africa. no preaching at other churches, the numerous baptisms, hospital visits, and bringing people to Jesus. Instead of asking, why me, Lord, thank him for making the best possible choices for fellow believers in his kingdom, because he loves each and every one of you. I also saw that Albert Einstein had a nice little quote that he gave. He said, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And that's so true, and it seems like we have to look for it, because if we just go with our daily lives, we seem to miss it. But if you just look for a little bit, you'll see miracles happening all the time, all around you. Wow, I kind of went to that faster than I thought. Because the first time I preached, I actually went half an hour over. That was bad for everybody. So this time we'll cut a little short. So please stand as we close in the Lord's blessings for today. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace. Shalom.